Hello and welcome to BartonPL versus the ones who walk away. As the USF, I have never heard of the ones who walk away, so I suspect it's a Smurf to get matched up with BartonPL. Or it might just be BartonPL has been stuck in search hell. And now this poor soul will get a smacking of his lifetime. But we shall see how these things develop. Okay, Barton opens with a machine gun into double pioneer start, which I haven't seen in a while. And immediately locked in Jaeger infantry doctrine, a very munitions heavy doctrine. But since the current heavy meta has died down a bit, and the standard Oster is not terrible, especially when you rush a Brombear, get your little half-track out to heal, plant some mines. It's all very effective, and now we're just gonna have to see how he makes use of it. So he goes for the double MG, so we might see some nice ambush camouflage on MG action going. Oh, okay, does turn around. Second MG, not quite finished yet. Oh, no, one leg's behind, but the MG can't quite set up. So the Pioneers are trying to force them away, which they will do because they are standing quite rather terribly close. And from this side you only get access to light cover, so immediate suppression for the Echelons, but they scalper away before they drop a model. Pioneers actually seem to have sniped a rifleman model on mid-range, which is rather impressive for these kind of fellas. So triple rifleman coming up for the ones who walk away. And only has one strategic point to his name. But Barton had nothing at all so far. So, quite an enigmatic start for the beginning. Curious to see how that plays out going forward. So, I have been playing myself quite a lot with Storm Doctrine, which is rather similar to the Jaeger Inf. But you do get a couple other goodies. But basically, ambush camouflage, especially on these open maps, is really nice with Grenadier LMGs, normal LMGs. Just get that increased accuracy for that quick model drop and long-range immediate suppression in. And then you can take the game from there. And also, it's much harder to flank an MG you can't see. So, for example, it's pretty good counter to Pathfinders that you can find in Airborne Company. They do have about a scouting range, I believe, of 50, which is like roughly this area, to reveal snipers and MGs, but since the MGs outrange them, they will still walk into them. So they won't get sniped or found out and flanked by the American forces. Meanwhile, bulletin-wise, we have Commando-style duck and cover, and some tougher meat, actually. Interesting choice. So that's pretty good if you put on the incendiaries. Try to punch for some light T-70 armor, especially from the front. This gives you that little bit of extra damage that might help you finish a low T-70 off. And yep, here come the first P-grants. So pretty interesting opening strategy. Should be working quite well. Double MG always been very powerful. Here comes the Lieutenant. I'm kind of curious if I'd really like to see a very quick M20 just to punish this build with no access to quick snares, since Grenadiers are not part of the build order so far. Pioneers actually doing pretty well. Snipe to rifleman models, but they do roughly cost the same. Oh, Echelons are pretty low. Running into double MGs here. P-grants are just coming up, but the Echelons make it past. Oh no! Gets executed by either by the crew or by the MG in the front. But yeah, they're just so bloody low that even the MG crew can take good care of them. Second MG is a bit of trouble here. Oh, the MG didn't get the suppression quick enough, but does get it eventually, so no quick steal here. Would have been interesting if Barton would have been able to get a grenade in there before they ran away. But very low health rifleman now, so has to pick his engagements until he gets some healing, which he does now. But the quick M20 is coming up. Good to see. M20 can deal with a 250 half-track. Does have enough punching power with his 50 cal on top to rather decisively push that thing off. So I am curious. Usually with these kind of builds, oh, they got stuck here. If he is not paying attention, he might get bundle-nated soon enough. If he hasn't realized, because if he tries to retreat here, it's just gonna stop working because they can't find a path. Okay, does go for the flame projector. M20 utility car is on the field, immediately upgrading with the armored skirts. Really needs to jump back in, out the other side. I hope he pays attention. Would be a real shame if he loses them rather quickly. Okay, until the armored skirts are up, P-Guns, I think, yeah, can do some damage close range against the M20. Once the skirts are up, that's a whole different matter, but oh, the low health here. Probably gonna drop another one. He still hasn't noticed his lieutenant. There is a possibility. Okay, nice crush there. Does get him out. There's a possibility that he was not able to get back into the building thanks to the wire. Depending on how they teleported. And that's something you don't often see. Pioneers forcing off a rifleman squad out of a garrison without a flamethrower. And here might be that tougher meat coming into play, but no, decides to retreat. Good choice. And the M20 begins his reign of terror. Oh, the 251 is driving into his enemy's base. Looks like... So he either gave up on it, or he's trying to bait something, but looks like he's not trying to bait. Okay, M20 does take a little while to get there. Nice job. Hunts the low health pioneers. But Barton with pretty good map control. G43 P-Grants are on the field. Pretty good stuff for medium and short range. Sniping stuff out of cover. And very good against American forces, especially with veterancy and ambush. Really looking forward to see that, but so far hasn't purchased any ambush camo because he needed that for the flame projectors. Gets a nice catch here, the 222 before the M20 gets hunted down, and the steward is out to immediately punish that play. And as we established further, there's still no snare. Okay, actually sends the steward up north. It's not a bad shout too, but he really needs to decide. He needs to take advantage of these vehicles being isolated as long as there's no pack on the field or some Panzer Shreks are being upgraded. And there we go. That 251 should be going down rather convincingly. A little bit of lag, there we go. Boom goes the flame half-track. The Flammen, they're everywhere. And ooh, that was scary. Pretty clumped up in front of cover. Low health. Lucky for them, the steward's main gun isn't the best of things in terms of accuracy. But on occasion, it really can hammer out those accidental genius shots. Yeah, P-Guns are getting massively bullied by the M20. Really nice counter build by the ones who walk away. Has the triple cap on. Fuel was kept by Barton. But oh no. Okay, the pack has hit the field, but it looks like it's just come onto the field. Come on, wants to walk away. Is he gonna punish Barton for this? Yes, he is. And that 222 should be going down. Nicely done. Needs to keep driving. Needs to keep driving forwards. Ooh, that was bad. Ah, nice ground attack attempt, but does get away. Should have just driven forward. He still hasn't really clocked that there are actually no snares. He could have run circles around that AT gun. Maybe he was afraid of a Panzer Shrek pop, but we already have one opportunity for that. So healing coming out for BartonPL. The cut off to the munitions has been captured. So that denies Barton a couple of upgrades and maybe additional mines in the near future. Now the ones who walk away does have a massive fuel advantage, munitions advantage, excuse me. So the weapon racks are coming into play now, which is exactly what he needs. He's gonna spend all those munitions on those sweet, sweet, tasty upgrades. And that's gonna make it pretty damn hard for Barton to take any infantry fight going forward. And he had to wait a really long time to get his guys healed up, and decides to move them out while they're not completely healed yet, just because he does need that map presence. Okay, if he's very quick, he could fire the incendiary here. Try and take advantage of that, and then combo that with a pack shot that's about to come in. Looks like he either didn't want to spend the munitions because he is very low, or he thought better of it. Did purchase another G43 and some ambush camouflage now coming on top of it as well. So that should be interesting. Yeah, and against these low health squads, they're gonna win that quite decisively. They're a little bit flanked here, but looks like most of the Pigrins are not shooting them. And unfortunately clumped here. So the Steward is going to town on these very expensive Pigrins. Nicely done. Nice catch. Pack misses. So the Steward should get away there unharmed. And does. Meanwhile, in the south, some pioneers were forced off by the lieutenant. Sweet stuff. So Barton going for the good old double pack. So this is a very solid infantry corps, but that build needs veterancy. Without veterancy, you're kind of crumbed and won't be able to stand up to those riflemen. So looks like we've decided to go for double BAR. So we have double BAR squads before we have like just getting one on each, for example. And it makes sense, especially on the veterancy here. Minus 23 received accuracy and minus 20% weapon cooldown. That is the dream for some BARs, but Barton has managed to staunch the victory point drain. So 367 to 417 right now. MG is getting flanked, unfortunately only by echelons. So that's gonna take them a while to really put the pressure on here. Stewart back on it, no snare available. They can just be really mean to all of that American infantry. Okay, spots his echelon getting crumbed by these Pigrins. Will we see a grenade? Okay, there was the grenade attempt. Oh, never mind. It actually came down. I just didn't see the timer. Pioneers went down like butter though. And Pigrins are winning this engagement thanks to most of these guys not being in cover. But they are taking casualties in return. 50 cals now added. Oh, that sounds like the M20 just went down. Well, it should be around the packs. That's a 250. Am I blind? I might be blind. But it went down somewhere. Don't see the vehicle crew, so that must have been the M20. Okay, I really want to know where that is now. Did it go like crazy out of control and like went across the map somewhere? Interesting. But yeah, good old double pack, putting pressure on the Steward now. The ones who walk away really need to pay attention, not to linger in a spot too long when he knows the packs are close by. Because sometimes that delay is all you need to get that second volley off. And packs are pretty unforgiving. Pigrins not quite capping there. That's always annoying when that happens to you. Usually happens when you click them right on the minimap. But there we go. Notices it now. Echelons are scouting up north. Running into a beautiful MG there. What actually is the angle here? So, roughly this angle. You always have to check from the window it's shooting out. So you have to put the entire circle that you see here a little bit to the front here. And more down south. Yep. Oh, Peagrin's just about get in there in the nick of time. Prevent the decap there. And in these high-level games, these +7 fuel for 30 seconds is sometimes the difference between life and death on the timing. Oh, they're jumping in again. That's gonna be a door nade if I've ever seen one. Unless Barton is microing somewhere else, but I think he's microing here. Gets him into green cover. There we go. Here comes the nade. Actually throws him into the building. Nice dodge, but still has to scarper out of there. Yeah, I saw the mortar earlier, but I kind of forgot to mention it. I actually have an American mortar added. That's pretty interesting. Not a unit you see too often, but a very effective one. Pretty good against all of those MGs. Maybe he uses some smoke. That would be nice to see. Always a rarity. But when you see it, it's glorious. So do the MGs... Okay, MGs now slowly getting upgraded as well with ambush camo. So this one is hiding and it's gonna be pretty murderous once it opens up. But good map control by the ones who walk away. Got a 50 cal covering the south. VPs looks like to be his issue, but I think he just wants to get that decisive 1-2 punch with the early Sherman. And very nice. We actually do see smoke by the mortar barrage. Beautiful stuff. Can now capture freely while blinding the MG that he doesn't know isn't there anymore. But it's still blinded. So that is still working out in his favor. And there, Pistol Major. Go, go, Pistol Major. Gun them down. Oh, but the bundle nade forces 2 squads to retreat. The Peagrin's just soloing half the American army. Quite decisively, I might add. 3 models here. Another 2 most likely. Yep, 2. Sherman now in the field though. Does he have... Yep. Immediately switch to high explosive. So that's gonna have a field day in the middle. Barton with pretty good victory point control. If I remember correctly, Barton was never one to play the victory points much, but in this one, he seems to value them quite highly. So Stuart's struggling to find an angle for the last 5 minutes. Pretty afraid. He just doesn't quite know where these packs are hunting. And they're lucky. So he throws out the... Yeah. Throws out the smoke barrage in the middle. There we go. Probably smoke coming down. No, no. Ooh, but very lucky that the first pack shot missed there. Okay, does notice the mortar coming in. Moves away. Mortar does not have a kill yet, but it's doing quite well. And there's a nice flank here by the rifleman. The Sherman's coming in. There is still... Oh, wait. Okay, we do have a Panzer IV now. So he did not quite get the window to catch out these pack guns and take full advantage. Ooh, very lucky on the 3rd penetration there. Otherwise, I would see that Panzer IV diving in for the kill there. Sherman had to switch back to armor piercing. Lost valuable time there. But still, that was a pretty decent push. Forced some stuff off the field. Looks like the pack guns, no, they're still fairly healthy. But the Panzer IV is now on the rampage. Oh, Stuart needs to start getting out of there. Needs to put that shell shock on and just drive by. Because the packs are lurking. Oh, luckily they're not quite in position yet. He's going for it. Double rear shot. It's gonna be a ground target. But looks like he didn't quite see it. So the Stuart puts his head in a cardboard box like Solid Snake and gets the hell out of there. And on the south side, Barton nearly kept back to the base. Really good map pressure here by the ones who walk away. Triple Peagrams now with G43s. So looks like Barton is like from the start off committed to the late game. Just try to store with the MG42 as much as possible. Get the double pack out. Try the light vehicle play. And then just outgun the late game with Panzer Grenadiers.
The capture point is under attack.
And if the performance of the earlier Panzer Grenadier down south here is anything to check the metric by, that might just work out for him. Oh, but he needs to be nippier with his Sherman. You can't just linger around against a double pack that you haven't dealt with or have no idea where it is. In those situations, you always have to get like one shot, maybe two if you're convinced they're far away. And then take like just this little step back, because most players will put those packs on max range to get a double shot. So they would have to reset up, and then you can push in like this. And then you have a pretty healthy Sherman to straight up follow that up with. Unfortunately for him, the smoke shells landing pretty precisely on the same spot. Nice sandbag here. Doesn't quite get the neutralization of that MG with the smoke. But does manage to cap the middle there. Stewart on the job on those P-Grants, who even seem to be out-trading the BIR riflemen on the range for now. But that might have just been RNG. And yeah, okay. Uses the armor-penetrating shot, but as I keep saying, it's pretty accurate. So you don't always need the high explosive shot to force off infantry. Of course, it makes it easier. But if you're not quite sure if the P4 is around the corner. And yeah, there we go. Nice job there. Get some damage. Get out. But looks like most of his infantry was forced off by that MG. So he's a little bit late to the party on the map. P4 nearly repaired. Second one added to the mix. Ooh, the pack gets some really juicy shots here in the Panzer Sherman. One of them vet 2 by now. If we check, minus 30% reload and 30% rotation speed. That's pretty sexy bony. Ooh, nice shot by the Panzer IV and some good gunfire. Rifleman running home to mama. Cheeky cap here by the P-Grants. Unfortunately, they're revealing themselves in front of cover. So if the Stewart gets a lucky shot, actually penetrates the Panzer IV. Oh no! It looks like one of those Sherman got bullied. But bodyguard Sherman is on the job, protecting his little brother. So wants to walk away, just not quite finding the timing and the angle with his Shermans. Needs to consolidate, needs to wait for his forces to be ready, and then make an aggressive push with everything together. Otherwise, he keeps constantly getting poked at by the double pack, and won't be able to capitalize if he can force off those Panzer IVs. But he gets another Sherman, so triple Sherman versus double Panzer IV. But unfortunately, he has not much else in terms of anti-tank. Has not purchased any bazookas yet, or has he? Okay, yes. Okay, he does have double bazooka on this one, which seems Barton has been falling for and has not been able to quite see it. So one Panzer IV being traded for a Sherman, so that Sherman should be dead. The other double Shermans are moving up, but the pack is in a nice position. So beautiful play here by Barton. But the Stewart is going in for the kill. Looks like he's using the shell shock to deny the vision here. He's trying his best. The pack guns are getting compromised. Very nicely done by the Stewart. Gets the main gun crit. Oh, the MG is trying to save the pack guns. Is the Stewart? Stewart really can dive in now. We still don't have any snares other than mines available for Barton. So the Stewart really needs to get on that pack, especially on that low health. Okay, so one pack gets stolen. That's pretty nice. Ooh, but the G43 penals. Pretty tasty stuff here and good shots. But it looks like he's just about to get away. Mortar, actually, on that one now. Gives it quicker barrage cooldown on the smoke. But the MG is just really nice micro there, keeping Barton in play. And meanwhile, while all of this has been going on, the entire map is capped, and the ones who walk away throws in the towel. Am I surprised? A little bit. Looks like he did get tilted by losing the Sherman here. I honestly think if he would know what we know, that there's no snares. Okay, he could be afraid of mines back here. But he knows the doctrine. It's very munitions intensive. And it looks like he already hit one up front. This Stuart could have just bullied this entire German army for the next 4 minutes until that Panzer IV is repaired. Could have dived the Pak 40. No consequences whatsoever. Maybe incendiary piercing rounds at the worst. So way too early drop there. So sometimes the battle isn't quite as lost as you think. I think he just got scared by the name Barton. I don't know who he is. Maybe it's a Smurf. Yet another Sherman coming. I really don't know why he dropped there. Well, I have to check the victory points, but I think he had enough time to come back on the map and deal with the triple cap. I mean, yes, Barton had double fuel for a little bit, so there would have been a little bit of more access armor to deal with. But he really missed his opportunity there. To just get in there, bully that pack, especially after he killed the first one and got the main gun crit on the last Panzer IV. Quite sad to see, but yeah. There we have it. Here we see the graph. The ones who walk away, always with the bigger army. Just couldn't quite make it work. Maybe scared of the name. I don't know, maybe it's a Smurf. But definitely would have had still a chance. So GG to both of them. Well done. And don't give up.